They say that you can't fold a paper more than 7 times. So the MythBusters decided to test it using normal printer paper. At first it was easy, but after the 7th fold, the paper became so thick that it barely moved anymore. They tried all kinds of methods to get past it, using a mallet, folding diagonally, ironing the paper flatter, and even sanding it thinner. One attempt looked like it reached an 8th fold, but the others argued that the paper was basically crushed instead of properly folded. Then, they switched to thinner tracing paper and finally managed to go past 7 folds. But they still wanted to test the myth using the normal folding method, so they decided to scale everything up. They went to a giant NASA airship hangar and taped together huge sheets of paper until the whole thing was almost the size of a football field. Even setting it up became difficult because pigeons living in the ceiling had left droppings all over parts of the paper. Once they finally started folding, the first few folds went smoothly, but every new fold made the paper thicker, heavier, and harder to lift. After a lot of effort, they reached 8 folds, then 9, and eventually even 10 with help from a forklift. By the end, they managed to reach 11 folds before the paper became too difficult to handle any further. So the myth wasn't completely true. With a large enough sheet of paper and enough space, it is actually possible to fold paper far more than 7 times.